Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace Truck on the track. In tow 24 Hikimo Super Stocks. Third event of the year for these cars. Came out in the mid portion of March for our full fender madness night, where we had 4 classes all had their front wheels covered. No modifieds, no B mods. Kenny Carroll won night 1. Last night for the Super Stocks, the win went to Jared Hayes. Who will win tonight? Take home $1,000. Starting grid shapes up like this. Tim Brown out of Stoutland, Missouri in the 111 will be P1 on the field with Donnie Miller on his outside in the 26M. Blaine Ewing, top 2 in the POWRi National Point standings last year, will start inside row 2, and Tony Anglin on his outside. Derek Brown, a 2-time champion at Lucas Oil Speedway, starting inside row 3. Colton Borland out of Appleton City on his outside. The aforementioned Kenny Carroll will start back in 7th. Kyle Davis in 8th. Row 5 has Brian Worley and Gary Clark in it. Gary Clark out of Walker, Missouri. Brian Brown and James Niswanger start 11th and 12th. In row 7, it's Jared Hayes and J.T. Carroll. Caleb Brown and Lonnie Duncan, 15th and 16th. Row 9 has Ted Welshmeyer and Craig Wiggins. Devin Irvin and Logan Thompson back in row 10. Then the rest of the field with Dowdy, Muskrat, Kevin Brown, and Chris Kircher. Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace Truck heads back to the pit area, and Tim Brown will have the field in tow. 23 cars behind him. Can he keep 23 cars behind him? 2 top 5s already this year for Tim Brown, and he gets off to a great start as the green flag flies. We're back underway, our final event of the Spring Nationals from here in Wheatland. Tim Brown out in front after 2 laps. Donnie Miller, though, grabbed just the hair of the lead before Tim Brown grabs it back, and now Donnie Miller to the outside. Get out by a half a car length. The principal at West Plains High School, Raider Transportation, Whitman Trucking, and Kriegler Harvesting sponsors for Mr. Donnie Miller, a 4-time winner last year, including a couple of wins at Midway. Also picked up a win at Springfield and North Central Arkansas. Side by side, doesn't get any closer than that between Tim Brown and Donnie Miller. They both give each other plenty of room. And Donnie Miller leads off of 4. That completes lap number 5. Great battle up front between these top 2 cars. They have really pulled away from Kyle Davis, Tony Anglin, and Blaine Ewing, as Tim Brown trying to grab the lead back. There's 3rd, 4th, and 5th with Kyle Davis, Tony Anglin, and Blaine Ewing. Kind of difficult to break away from watching these 2 cars lap after lap after lap continue to be side by side. This super stock class was a mainstay here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Went to the stock cars for a handful of years. It was getting to a point to where the super stock class was starting to get a little pricey. It's intended to be more of an introductory class. Yes, there's factory stocks, hobby stocks, pure stocks, but they made the change to the stock cars from a cost perspective, just trying to pique that interest a little bit more, make it a little bit more cost efficient, but the demand and the desire from these super stocks to continue to race. It's much different because there's a mutual respect with these guys. We always heard from drivers that said, hey, I know whenever I come out, I'm more than likely going to be able to drive it on the trailer instead of have it pushed or towed. They take care of their equipment because they know it costs a lot to come out and run. As Chris Kircher going to get lapped by Donnie Miller. As Donnie now 3 laps out in front, and the Midwest Sheet Metal caution comes out. A couple cars slowed on the back stretch. That might be the end. There's a car slowed on the front stretch. Brian Brown, one of those. Chris Kircher, that was the car that just got lapped. He is slowed and brings out the caution. The 69 of Brian Brown was slowed on the backstretch, as well as the 112 of Kevin Brown. I asked last year, I said, okay, all you Browns hang out together. Are you all related? And they said, nope, Kevin is not related. But he is related to Justin Wells, the late model driver. He's a cousin to Justin. But he is not a relation to Brian or Caleb or Tony. And Chris Kircher heads back to the pits. And not a relation to Tim or Derek. Donnie Miller ahead in the running order. We had just reached the midway point. He is leading Tim Brown, or was at the time, by 0.2 of a second. For the restart, Tim Brown goes to the left side, as that shuffles Kyle Davis to the outside. I believe they're going to get the one to go this next time by for Donnie Miller.
Lights are going out at the flag stand. Lights are out at the flag stand. We're going green next time by.
Legit, a racetrack down around the West Plains area is where Donnie Miller used to run. Was a champion there 2 times in 2015 and 2022. He was a 5-time winner of the Scrappin' 40 at West Plains from 2019 through 2023. And sets the pace. And got a little push from Kyle Davis as the green flag back up in the air. Tim Brown takes a quick peek to the inside. So does Kyle Davis. We're going to be 3 wide before too long, maybe. Unless Donnie Miller can shoot back out, which he does. But it's still 3 wide for third now. Tim Brown stays right along the door panel of Donnie Miller. New player in the game is Kyle Davis. And what was a 2-car race up front has now turned into about a 7-car battle for the lead. They're all within striking distance. And all it takes is one little bobble. Nose crumpled up from Kyle Davis. I didn't see that nose crumpled up like that whenever we were in parade laps. That might have happened on that restart as he was trying to give Donnie Miller a friendly nudge. How about this? Tony England in the rearview mirror sees Jared Hayes, Brian Worley, and Derek Brown all duking it out wheel to wheel. And here's Kyle Davis. He's not going to go away either. Kyle out of Colcord, Oklahoma, finished third here last night. Three-time winner last year, including 2 victories at North Central Arkansas. Can he be spoiler in this? We were just talking about Donnie Miller and Tim Brown the entire time. Kyle Davis is there. Tim Brown will lean on Donnie Miller, and that might be what Kyle Davis needs. New leader, the 10 at the line, but Donnie Miller right back to it. And the Midwest Sheet Metal caution will come out as 2 cars involved in an incident. One of them is Carroll. His car steaming. And that is Kenny Carroll in the 94. He's able to put it in reverse, back up, and head down the ramp. And that was with 3 laps to go. Got to think if we had stayed green, Kyle Davis may have had Donnie Miller's number. And now that we get the restart, everybody's going to get bunched back up. May play into Donnie Miller's favor. But there's going to be some track work that's going to have to be done as all of that steam that came out from Kenny Carroll's car has put down a lot of liquid down the very end of the front stretch all the way up to the top of the apex and pit entry. So they have the dirt down.
21W in front of the 94. You just moved him.
And they're going to stick everybody in. Go ahead and blow a kiss to the camera there, Chris.
94, stay right behind the board. 21W.
Going to get everybody to drive through the fresh dirt. Make sure we get all that soaked up as much as we can. Three-lap shootout here on the final race of the 2025 version of the Spring Nationals, 12th annual edition of it, presented by Iconic Apparel. The choo-choo train through 3 and 4, and this time not going to get the friendly push from Kyle Davis this time for Donnie Miller. He's going to peek his nose to the inside from the get-go. Didn't happen as Donnie Miller able to hold his position. It had been Donnie Miller and Tim Brown, lap after lap, side by side. And now with 2 laps to go, Donnie Miller trying to hold off Kyle Davis. I think if they had stayed green, Kyle Davis may have had Donnie Miller's number. But right now, Donnie Miller doing everything he can to hold off Kyle Davis, and he only has 1 lap left to hold him off. Inside was not working. Kyle Davis will try the outside. A hard run, and Donnie Miller will hold off and win the nightcap at Lucas Oil Speedway, winning the final night of the Spring Nationals. Mr. Donnie Miller out of West Plains, Missouri will win.
Exit this time by 26M KK.
First win of the season for Donnie Miller after a 4-win season last year. Donnie Miller wins it over Kyle Davis and Tim Brown. That's your podium finish as Donnie Miller started outside row number 1 and leads the final lap. Your top 5 is Miller, Davis, Tim Brown, Blaine Ewing, and Derek Brown. Tony England in 6th, Jared Hayes 7th, Brian Worley, Ted Welshmeyer, and JT Carroll rounding out your top 10.